Hello, traders. I'm going to attempt to catch this pattern that I was talking about where the market is going down in legs and then it finds a bottom. It's 50% retrace of the day's move. We took out this buy side or sell side liquidity rather. And now what I want to see happen is it push up, leave liquidity above, come back down, make a higher low, and then we'll start running liquidity hopefully all the way up to here. But I've been getting in too early on these, and so I want to make sure I'm following my pattern here, where we go up and we leave some of this liquidity up here, come back down, and make this higher low before I jump in. Because right now, as it stands, we already have a fair value gap. This is actually a 3-minute chart. I'm going to go to a 1-minute chart. You can see it's pretty much just been a run up here. We haven't had the pullback. We need to have this leg of the journey right here. We need to have this part. So right now we're only having that part. So it's really important that we leave the buy side. Yeah, I got it way over here. It's really important that we leave some buy side up here. We can't take all of this liquidity before pulling back, or it's just going to be more opportunity for downside. Now, at this point, I would be thinking, oh, I've missed the move, and I'd be wanting to get in. But this part right here is very important right here. If we don't see this and we don't see it make that high or low, then it could just be a pullback and then we fall out of bed some more. That's what we don't want to happen. I'm sick again, folks. You might be thinking, well, what if this thing just runs away without me? Let it. Let it run away without you. Because that's not your trade setup. We need this to pull back for it to be a good reversal pattern. We need this liquidity to be left, and we need to pull back, and then we need to aim for that liquidity, or possibly even all the way up there. I changed the candles just to where they're completely uncolored, just to help myself focus on what I need to see and not get too um, caught up in the color of a candle. My mentor, my very first mentor, actually, he had his charts colored this way. I think they were actually, instead of white, I think they were even muted a little more like gray. So they don't have any hue to them at all or much shininess. All right, so we're coming down now. That's good. We don't know how long this leg is going to be, but we just want it to be above this area. Now that may be it. That might be the entire pullback right there. But we did get a pullback. Now, what would we need to see next? If this was the entire pullback leg, then we would need to see a fair value gap above here. Like if this is it right here, that's it. That's our entire pullback on this run. I would like to see it pull back a little bit deeper, but that might be it. That might be all we get. I would like to see it come back to somewhere around here, preferably. Right now, we're still lower on the high there, so there is more potential for pullback there. I would like, I want to see it make a really good effort to push back down into this area and fail. That's what I want to see. I want sellers to try to sell this sucker off and either fail or succeed. I don't want it to be ambiguous. If it's ambiguous, leave it alone. There will be a trade setup that's not ambiguous. We can look at this same setup up here. We went up here. Where we're going up here, up in legs, up in legs, up in legs. Finally, we make a high. We pull back. Here we come down. We need to see a push, an attempt to push higher that fails. And this was our attempt to push higher that failed right there. And then off we go, up, down, 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 down. But that was our attempt to push higher right at the 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock open. Ran that liquidity, fell out of bed. This is 50% of the day. That's I always mark out 50% of the day and 25% of the day, and this is the high of the day. So we took out the high of the day, and then we started offering lower. Gold is bullish right now, so I prefer to take a long over a short. The metals had a big pullback last week, and this week they've been bullish again. Do you really need candle colors to see market structure? Is it really important? I've always marked out the last up close candle before the run on liquidity as a breaker. So from that perspective, yes, you would need candle colors. But are they really helpful, or are they just or are they a distraction? Maybe I should try trading without candle colors for just a little while and see if my trading improves. I think doing something as elementary as drawing this out and demanding to see structure like that will definitely help my trading improve and your trading improve. If that's what we're looking for, then it doesn't have to pull all the way back down to here. I can see these candles here. I don't know what color they are, but I know they pushed up. So one of these would be a breaker, and then they push down again. So somewhere around here would be a nice pullback. Somewhere around this area would be what I would consider a suitable pullback. And then a fair value gap to the upside, which we can see we've got one here, one here. It doesn't matter what color it is, but pretty sure it's green because it's going up. So we have an attempt to push higher, and it's failed. Now we're trying to push down again. Let's go. Let's get down there. Let's either make a new low or fail to do so. At this point, I don't really care which one it does. If it continues to push lower, it's just not my trade setup yet. We're just watching, reading price action. And this is Asia session. So, Asia, it's Tuesday night, January 6th, 9:21 p.m. if you want to compare the charts when you watch the video. We actually had a leg up right here that I didn't draw in. I could draw that in. So about right there, we pushed up again. Maybe that's what I did here. Maybe that's that. Because that's our push up to there. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So we don't need this one. I just put it way over there. So that looks kind of weird. It was a little choppy. We pushed to there. And then we went down to here. No, wrong one. Down to here. Back up to here. And then down. Almost straight down. Guess we can just join those. Get rid of that. All the way down to here. And then back up to there. And then on down. Back up one more time. It's kind of neat. And then final flush. Hopefully the final flush. If we're going to get a trade tonight, it'll be the final flush. Okay, and then we started our reversal. Up, we're pulling back. This looks like a good area to pull back to me. Still pulling back, still pulling back. I'm going to move this over so it's not right on top of the candles I'm trying to watch. Yeah, I like this area right here for the pullback. That's why I stopped my lines right there. But it doesn't have to go all the way down there. Yeah, make a good attempt to go down. Ooh, I like that wick. So this fair value gap right here might be what it's running off of. I like that. So if we get a fair value gap here, that's what we would need in this portion of the leg. Then we can enter along. This will be our attempt to push down that fails. Yeah, I like this. Now, will it give us an entry? We need to wait for this candle to finish before we know if it's going to be a fair value gap or not. I'm hoping it stays open and we can get an entry somewhere around there. There is a fair value gap to the downside right here that needs to be inverted. Somewhere around here would be a good entry if this does indeed stay open. We're possibly inverting this one right here. So an entry at 80, 83.2, 83.3. 15 seconds. It looks like it's going to stay open. All right, I'm going to try to get on in right here at the base of that wick right there. Maybe that volume imbalance. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to join there. It looks pretty aggressive. Come on, let me in. Oh, dang it. Try to go mid candle there. I'm chasing it like crazy because gold a lot of times won't give you an opportunity. It just goes. When it finds its bottom, it just rips. Come on, let me in. I'm just going to do half candles until we can finally maybe get in. Surely it'll pull back half a candle. We got volume imbalance here and here. Maybe we pop that high and pull back to one of these. I only have $100 stop loss on here, so I may not have enough room if we come back to these. There we go. Ideally, we make a new high now. I don't know. It could break all the rules and not do this, but this is a good trade setup. Gold has done some head fakes in the past, so it may not work out, but at least you have a pattern you can follow. At least you're not just clicking and praying. This setup usually works. I would say 70, at least 70, maybe 80% of the time, this is going to work. So if you control your losses, you're taking good profits, then you're going to be okay just on a risk reward basis, all about, just by itself, risk reward. So we'll see how it does. I only have two micros on right now. Of course, I want it to make a new high of day. I don't know if it will, but that would be pretty awesome. The best thing to do would be aim for this lower hanging fruit right here. But gold is rather bullish. I'm going to give it an opportunity to go at least back to a round number, at least back to round number, and just see if it doesn't. If it hits that level and starts to pull back violently, then I'll go ahead and take it off. Like magic, isn't it? draw out the lines and then the price follows them. This would be a break and retest situation. It could have just been we were running for that liquidity and now we're going to offer more downside. But I'm going to use this as an opportunity to add some more to my position, I think, depending on how it reacts when it hits those wicks right there. We're going to leave them. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of more. There we go. Apologize for all the sniffling and sneezing and coughing. Something blew in on Saturday night and just absolutely knocked me down. Hope you can see past it for this freaking awesome tutorial about price action. This is working out. I mean, I could not have scripted this better. Good Lord. I think I need to move my line a little higher here since it's following it so well. We actually had this pullback here, and then and then we had a little bit of a pullback right here, and then zippity doo dah. Yeah, if I want it to go up here, I better put my line up there for sure. Come on, do me right. I'm tempted to take profit at 25% of the day, which is that pink line there. If I zoom out to a daily, I'll show you what it looks like. I just put a Fibonacci measuring tool on the day's move right here. I guess I just did the regular trading hour day. That's not even, oh yeah, that's the high of the day. That's the low of the day. This orange line is pushing up above in that wick. But that high of the day, low of the day, or low of the day is down here. Halfway point, which we pulled back to. 25% pullback is here. And just see what happens from there on out.